this. If if parents can't whoop their kids in a public space, then they can't whoop their kids in private. If it's okay for a parent to file a restraining order on their kids, then it's okay for their kids to file a restraining order on their parents. Parents are not above the law. I don't care how young their child is. And you really need to stop treating them as if they're above the law. This is why parents be acting so spoiled, like they thinking that the world owes them something because you excusing them. You always trying to give them an excuse to justify their behavior. I don't care what kind of computer games we have. Parents parents are the real brats. Believe the child. Believe the child when the parent believe the child when they say that the parent hits them until proven wrong. People like to say people like to say family would never do such a thing, family would never do this, that, and the other. Like, let me tell you something. If family would never hurt family, then there would be no crime in the world because we are all technically related. Okay, Cain wouldn't have killed Abel. Cain wouldn't have killed Abel. His brother. Like, parents need to respect their kids to teach them to respect others. People say, oh, she's your mother, she doesn't have to respect you. Okay, so you gotta understand, parents teach you how to respect people. And if your mother doesn't have to respect you, then you do not have to respect women. Think about it like this. I'm not really trying to condone disrespecting women, but think about it like this. There are men and women. There are men being a menace to society, who have no respect for women. There are also women who have no respect for women because their mother doesn't respect them. That's why they always be saying, I want a boy. When I have kids, I want a boy because girls are too much drama. And then if they have a girl and a boy, they be treating the boy way better than they treat the girl. They might equally get beatings, but at the same time, they will beat the girl more than they beat the boy. Some women be all sexist, hating men and all that stuff because their dads don't even have respect for them. And same with guys. Like, some guys don't like other men because their dad doesn't have respect for them. So to the police officers, please stop treating parents like they're above the law. Okay? If parents can't beat their kids in public spaces, then they can't beat their kids in private spaces. If a parent can file a restraining order against their child, the child can file a restraining order against the adult. And if you have given the parent a warning and they do not follow after that warning, they do not listen to the warning, don't give them another warning, please. Because as long as you keep treating them like they're above the law, they're going to keep acting like spoiled, entitled brats. If you can threaten to send me to the psychological facility just for wasting your time on my mom, then you should send her to the hospital forever for wasting your time on me. I went to the hospital 5 times non-suicidal. She needs to start living there. if she calls the police on me for next time. Like, if she calls the police on me one more time, she needs to be put to the hospital for life. It should be like a 3-time strike. Like, after 3 times, if I come out of the hospital unsuicidal 3 times, then my mom is going to the hospital forever the next time she calls the police on me, telling you guys that she's afraid that I'm gonna hurt myself. Don't be telling me, oh, you sitting here wasting my time because this other person is getting shot. Don't be telling me none of that if she has the right to waste your time on me. Every time I leave the house, she calls you guys on me, trying to put me back, to take me back to her. Like, trying to take me to the hospital and then right back to her. She needs to be put in the hospital again. Like, no, she needs to be put in the hospital forever. I filed a restraining order because I am serious enough to pursue my dreams, and my mom is getting in the way of that. You guys need to get harder. You guys need to go harder on these parents. I don't care if my mom is a single mother and, oh, she has it hard. Like, no, she ain't got it hard enough. She is spoiled. She is entitled. She is a brat. Okay, regardless of how hard she got it, she ain't got it hard enough. I don't care how many babies she can push out. I don't care how much it hurts to get babies pushed out. She hasn't got it hard enough. Parents need therapy as much as we do. And if they got anger management issues, if you could put me in handcuffs for having anger issues, you should do the same thing to mom. Because parents sitting here justifying their anger issues just because they're parents, acting like they above everything, acting like they above the law. You need to do better. I'm serious. You can say, my mom whooped me and I came out from, like, if you whooping your kids because your parents whooped you, you are not fine. If you are treating your kids like trash as if you do not know what it's like to be a kid, you are not fine. If you are attracted to aggressive people, to emotionally unavailable people, because your parents are emotionally unavailable to you, you are not fine. If you have anxiety, depression, because of the whoopings that you have with your parents, then you are not fine. You can say, oh, it's not because of my parents. No. The internet does not deserve that much credit. Okay? Some bully in your life done messed you up. And your parents are the first people who bullies you. It could be somebody else. But parents can also be the reason. Family is trash. They're the first people that bully you. They're the first people that treat you like trash and then like smile in your face, all fake, as if nothing happened. If your family never lets you do things on your own and then you grow up indecisive, you are not fine. If you are shy because your parents like to cross your boundaries, you are not fine. Being shy is not a personality trait, that's a mental illness. If your mother is toxic to the point where you are toxic to your own wife, you are not fine. If your father is toxic and you are to the point where you start being toxic towards your own husband, you are not fine. If you let this go by, your parents don't have to respect you to the point where, if your parents doesn't respect you to the point where you do not respect both genders, like if your mother doesn't respect you and you just do not to the point where you just don't respect women in general. Every time you want a child, you just want a boy because you are not going to treat the girl right, you are not fine. If you're like, how do I say this? If you have, how do I say this? If your mother doesn't respect you, if your mother doesn't respect you and you just don't respect women because of your mother, you're not fine. All right, say that. And same with the father. You're not fine if your father disrespects you and you do not have respect for men in general. You are not fine. If your parents refuse to take responsibility for their actions and then you grow up being as toxic as your parents, you are not fine. You guys need to do better and stop spoiling parents like the spoiled brats they are. Whooping your kids with a belt and slapping your kids and all that stuff with a coat hanger and all that, it's mentally damaging to your children. Mentally, emotionally damaging to your children. It does not have to be big as in a car crash for your children to be traumatized. It could be the little things like whooping your kids with a belt. It could be hitting your kids with a coat hanger. Like, they just grow up with anxiety thinking that people are going to be making a big deal out of the mistakes that the kids make. Like, our parents are the first people that make a big deal over the mistakes that we make. And then we grow up thinking that society is going to treat us any different. Thinking that society is going to treat us not any different, but thinking that society is going to treat us the same way our parents did. It messes us up. So please, do better than this.